Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Friday morning. It is now the 22nd day of November, 2024, and this is the morning briefing. And from the home weather office, as I look out the window, it's raining. And we should get used to that. We are going to see rain today in many more areas than where we've seen rain the last few days. And for some areas, the rain is going to be pretty heavy at times. So I'll show you that. And if you're in one of those places where we haven't seen much rain this week, especially all those communities south of Interstate 80, and you've been hearing about all of the rain going on, well, today is your day to get some not just moderate rain, but there are times when we could even be seeing some heavy rain later on today. Before I do get to that, just one little bookkeeping note here. This channel has gotten a lot of new subscribers this week with the active weather we have seen, so thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate that. But one other note, if you are new to this channel and if there's something that I'm not providing that you'd like to see me do from time to time, leave me a comment. And I don't respond to all the comments, but I certainly do read them all. So if you're new to this channel and there's something that you want me to address from time to time, just let me know. And thank you to all the new subscribers that we've had this week. Let's get to it this morning. Here is our AR. Over the last couple of days, it has been draped to the north. It is now sinking to the south, and this moisture is going to be steered directly toward California. And this is going to be the final episode, if you will, of the atmospheric river for California, but in an area farther south than what we've seen the last few days. And as we've seen over the last few days, in areas where it has rained a lot, and that's what we're going to see in Sacramento County and Placer County, El Dorado, Amador County, and even as far south as Tuolumne County and Stanislaus County during the course of the day today. As you can see, there is a bit of a breakup back in here, and there will be periods during the day tomorrow where it is not raining, but there still should be some lingering showers tomorrow, and then we'll deal with other chances of rain as we get into Sunday and Monday, but nothing like what we're going to see during the course of the day today. Let's get to a couple of models. This is the HRRR. This is a high resolution model that goes hour by hour. And this is the 12Z run. And this is the way it is showing 8 o'clock this morning. So we have rain in Sacramento County. And so here's where that line is. And as we go through the day today, it kind of sags through the area. I'll stop it at noontime. This is the depiction at noontime. And here is the AR, certainly a little farther south than the last couple of days. Another thing to point out is that even at noontime, it is raining in the Sierra. As I'm recording this a little before 8 o'clock in the morning, we currently have temperatures in the upper 40s in Tahoe and Truckee, mid 40s on the west slope at 5,000 feet, which means right now it is still too warm to get anything in the way of snow up on the summit, and that will be true through the middle part of the day. It'll be raining on Donner Summit on Interstate 80. It'll be raining on Highway 50 as well as Highway 88, but that is going to change tonight, and when it does change, we are going to see significant snow. So if you do need to travel over the Sierra, earlier is better. Let's get to that. This is noontime. As we get into the afternoon, watch how this line starts to blossom, like right in here. See that change? Right here, the line is somewhat broken, and then here it blossoms. And as that happens, we are going to see colder air come in. We're going to see more significant rain, especially around Sacramento County, as well as Nevada County, Placer, all the way down into Amador County. Still not quite as much into Tuolumne. But this is all the way up to 8 o'clock this evening, and by then it is snowing in the Sierra at elevations around maybe 5,500 to 6,000 feet. That snow level will drop, but by then, let's see, maybe back up just a little bit. So this is 6 o'clock. By then, we're probably just getting into chain controls. Maybe around 5 or 6 o'clock, we get chain controls on Interstate 80. So if you, again, need to get up over the summit, you don't want to worry about chain controls. Going before the sun goes down is probably going to be an open window. After that, it is going to snow, and it's going to snow pretty hard. As we go through the night, into the night, this is around 11 o'clock. It is still raining in Sacramento County, and it's raining pretty hard. Also getting rain, some pretty good rain around Stockton and Tracy, and snow in the Sierra. This reddish color in here is a mix, but it's basically going to be snow above 6,000 feet. This is, let me go to 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. By 4 a.m. Saturday, this is showing more of a mix in the Sierra, but I have a feeling we're going to see more snow falling. It shows the rain breaking up. Now, this model continues to bring in occasional showers during the day Saturday. That's 8 a.m. This is as we go through the day. This model a little bit more aggressive with more showers than others. This is 1 o'clock on Saturday. I think that this model may be slightly overdone for Saturday, but I still think we're going to see occasional showers. And also occasional snow in the Sierra. I have a feeling we're going to see chain control stay up through much of the day Saturday, even if it's not snowing as hard as what we're going to see during the night tonight. So with that, I got another couple of products here that I can show you. But first, let me go to the total precip accumulation. Nope, the total precip accumulation. And as I scroll over this, you can see Sacramento on this model, yeah, here we go, is up around 2.5 inches of rain around Sacramento. Up around the west slope, around Auburn, it's around 4.5 or so. Grass Valley maybe as high as 6 or so. Stockton maybe a half an inch to an inch, and about the same thing around Stockton. But then on the west slope from Tuolumne County to the north, we have 1.5 inches of rain. So that's some pretty good rain. Let's talk a little bit about the snow and the total snow accumulation here. If I scroll over this is showing 30, 40 inches. That might be a little bit overdone, but let me show you. I can break this down to 6-hour increments because this might be a little bit more helpful. Let me back this up to when the snow starts. So this is 4 o'clock in the afternoon today. Very little snow has accumulated in the last 6 hours. Let's go ahead another 6 hours. This is at 10 o'clock tonight. So by 10 o'clock tonight, in the previous 6 hours, we've seen a foot of snow on Donner Summit. Maybe as much as a foot of snow. So it's probably coming down at 1 to 2 inches an hour. And then over the next few hours, look at that. This is during the nighttime hours and the overnight hours. Many more areas as I scroll over this, including down on Highway 50, are showing 10 to 12 inches of snow. And again, that's just in 6 hours. So that gives you that snow rate of 2 inches an hour. So that's very difficult to travel through. And this is not just Interstate 80, but also Highway 88, as well as Highway 50. So that's the way the HRRR shows it. The NAM is going to be similar. Now, keep in mind, this model doesn't have quite the same resolution, and this one goes in 3-hour increments as opposed to the HRRR that went in 1-hour increments. So this is at 8 o'clock this morning. And then as we get into the afternoon, this is 1 o'clock, and then this is 4 o'clock. Notice how the line just kind of stalls out. Right here to here and here, it doesn't make much progress to the east. And at 4 o'clock, same thing the HRRR was showing. It just started to get some snow in the Sierra. So right around sunset, we start getting snow. And then during the night, the snow increases and the rain spreads a little farther south, and the rain stays with us during the nighttime hours. This model clears Saturday out a little bit more. This is Saturday morning, and then this is Saturday afternoon, showing lingering showers. I still think Saturday is going to be one of those on again, off again days, but once again, notice the snow in the Sierra. We will have chain controls up all day Saturday. Sunday, this model still shows maybe a shower or two. Probably better travel conditions in the Sierra. And then on Monday, we also still see this is Monday afternoon, showing a little something coming our way. This model is similar in terms of the snow. And once again, I'll break it down by the 6-hour increments. And if I pick it up at 4 o'clock this afternoon, there's only an inch of snow up on the summit, and may be kind of slushy at that. So once again, reinforcing that message that between now and sunset is a really good time to travel through the Sierra because the roads will be snow-free. But then as we get into the night, we start seeing that snow. And this is Saturday morning at 4 a.m. showing you the previous 6 hours of snow. And this is once again showing 8 to 12 inches of snow, backing up that theory that we could see an inch and a half, 2 inches of snow per hour. And totals on above 7,000 feet will likely exceed 2 feet, and maybe even as much as 3. by the time we get to Saturday afternoon. Down at 5,000 feet, of course, the amounts will be quite a bit less, but there will be plenty to impact travel throughout the day on Friday as well as Saturday. Now for the valley, this model also shows quite a bit of rain today. Let me get to total precip accumulation. And this one is a little bit more robust. This shows that by Saturday morning, areas around Sacramento have picked up more than 3 inches of rain, and areas on the west slope are more like 4 inches of rain, which would include places like Auburn, Newcastle, and certainly Grass Valley would be closer to that 5-inch range of rain. And there's something else that I show, and sometimes I show you guys. One of the things I do with this channel is I'm just showing you what I look at every morning. So this is something that may be a little too deep in the weeds, but this is called extracted data, and yeah, you see tons of numbers here. But what I'm looking at here is this line that is, let's see if I can highlight one line here. It's the bottom line of the two that I've got highlighted here. This is 6-hour precip, and this is for Sacramento for today. So this is at 4 o'clock today. In the previous 6 hours, we will have received 1.12 inches of rain, followed by the next 6 hours is 1.18. Now, quite often, if we have, in Sacramento, if we have 2 back-to-back 6-hour periods where we have more than an inch of rain, it can start to lead to street flooding. And we could certainly see that by this afternoon and this evening. And I'm speaking especially for areas, let's say around Elk Grove, Sacramento, Natomas, Citrus Heights, those areas. I think our streams and creeks will be able to handle this okay, and I'll show you something on that here in a minute. But what I'm worried more about is with some of the wind we've had the last couple of days, as well as the wind we'll have today, we will likely see a lot of, there are a lot of leaves on the ground, and we may start to see some clogged drains and that sort of thing. And if the drain is even a little bit clogged, combined with the rain rates we're going to see, we could start to see some standing water on the roadway. So worried about street flooding, not worried about stream and creek flooding at this point, and certainly not river flooding, not in the valley. So that's just something to keep in mind. So if you're going to be on the road after sunset tonight, especially on some of those roads that maybe the secondary roads where the water backs up on the sides of the roads, or any other dark locations, just be very careful about areas of deep water on the sides of the roads. You may be finding some standing water that will block a lane or something like that, and maybe even on some of the highways. I know Caltrans will be out making sure that the highways are clear, but sometimes it's those lanes that are on the edges close to the drains where you see a lane get encroached by water. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're going to be driving later on today. There is another line on here I can show you since I've got this up here, and it is the freezing level, and that's this line right here. And what you'll see, this is the freezing level over Sacramento, and this is during the daylight hours today, and it shows the freezing level up around 9,000 to 10,000 feet, and then tonight you can see it drops down to 6,000 feet. This isn't a great representation of what will happen in the Sierra, but it gives you the idea. In the Sierra, we will see that snow level drop a little bit faster, but still, it just shows you how that colder air will come in, and we will see that freezing level drop. All right, back to the water. I do want to talk a little bit about the Cosumnes River, and this is the latest from the River Forecast Center. And as you can see, the Cosumnes is doing just fine. Expected to go up to around 4 feet during the day tomorrow. Flood stage or even monitor stage is at 7 feet, flood stage is 12. So right now the current forecast, despite the fact that we are expecting a lot of rain today, is still to have that river be in pretty good shape. So for those of you in Wilton, again, we're not worried about that sort of thing right now. We are worried more about maybe the possibility of street flooding. And if you want to see an area that's really feeling the impact of this is the Russian River at Guerneville, and this is where the river was down here around 5 feet, so just kind of in its usual lazy position that it is in the fall season. This is the ramp up that we have seen. It's now up over 28 feet. This black line is the current, and then this is the forecast, so expected to go to 34 feet later on today. which is just below moderate flood stage. So minor flooding is expected around Guerneville later on today. But that's quite a ramp up from the 5 feet we were at to 34 feet later on today at the Russian River. And if, as I've been mentioning from time to time over the last couple of days, that if this sort of an event were to happen in January, after the ground was saturated, after rivers already had a fair amount of water in them, this would be a much more catastrophic situation than what we are seeing. But to get a soaking AR like this at this time of year, it doesn't have quite the same impact because the ground is still relatively dry. The ground is still acting like a sponge, absorbing a lot of this rain. So that reduces the amount of runoff. It is a different situation when the ground is completely soaked after we've had a couple of months of rain. So that's one of the good things about this AR. But again, if we had this exact same situation happen again 6 weeks from now, I think we'd be seeing much more widespread flooding from our streams, creeks, and smaller rivers. For reservoirs, we're going to be seeing some great inflows into those, into Folsom, and especially into Oroville. We'll have to, maybe I'll show you that on Monday, the inflows that we'll see into Oroville. But yeah, the reservoirs at this time of year have tons and tons of room, so there's no worry about any of our major rivers. That's everything I've got for you on this Friday morning. Again, it is going to rain hard later on today in many areas that didn't see that earlier today. So just be prepared for that. And if you are planning on traveling through the Sierra later on today, up until about sunset is a good window. After that, it's going to snow. It's going to snow pretty hard later on tonight and tomorrow. A couple of feet. Ski area should be quite happy by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. And right now, I didn't look ahead all the way down the road, but right now, Wednesday and Thursday, right now anyway, look dry for Thanksgiving. I'll update that more in the next couple of days. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.